Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're on Oworm's account and he has a really good account. He's VIP 12, which I would consider around a mid spender but definitely not a super heavy spender, and he has almost all heroes developed. He's been like laser focused, getting most of his heroes to Supreme Plus, and the only heroes he doesn't have fully built up are Tailene, Burial, Diurnal, and Dunlinger. Dunlinger he doesn't even have a single copy because there's no point in going for one copy of Dunlinger, and then these three have been from the all hero event that we had, and he has not gotten any extra copies or wasted them on them. So like his account has a lot of focus, and now he's gonna basically reap the rewards of that because he has all the heroes built on his account, which I find kind of crazy because like there are even some VIP 18 players who are missing out on certain heroes at Supreme Plus. He even has KAFRA at Supreme Plus, and Hugin currently is a work in progress, 14 more copies. So I really like this like sort of direction of his account. In terms of Paragon upgrades, obviously it is going to be a little bit low, being like a VIP 12 player, but he still has quite a few Paragon 1s. He'll be getting close to unlocking Paragon 2. I think he only needs like 8 more, right? Yeah, and that should happen towards, or like in the next season, season 3. As for Harak, you might be thinking, why does he have Harak at 3 out of 4 copies? It's because he's waiting for the final Glorious Hero chest, which we're going to get as the settlement rewards, and then he's going to take him to Supreme Plus, which is also really smart. You want to make good use of that chest because it can't be used on like future Celestial Hypogeans. It can only be used on the current ones, and like he hasn't built Tailene and Diurnal, so like it might be a waste. So yeah, I really love like sort of his direction, his decision making on his account, because now no matter what happens in the game, he has all of the heroes basically available for it, other than Tailene. Tailene is kind of the one hero he's missing who is also good for PvE content, also for PvP. However, you can't build all Celestial Hypogean heroes unless you're going to be dropping a lot of money on this game. So really impressed. Honestly, like, this is great. Okay, now for the dream, I think now what his priority should be, of course, is paragoning his heroes. For your Stellar Crystals and your Celestial Hypogean resources, I recommend don't take these Celestial Hypogeans to Paragon. I think for a mid-spender like yourself, like the VIP 12, I don't think it's worth it paragoning Hypogean Celestials. Just try to build, like in this Season 3, whichever one seems to be the most dominant, or maybe 2 which are the most dominant, you can just build them on your account. That is what I would recommend. Or if they're not even all that great, then you can go for Tailene, because Tailene's another hero kind of that is quite useful. I also think Tailene is going to be a bit future proof because she can resurrect herself. She dispels debuffs on herself after she resurrects, so she counters Bonnie to an extent. So I really like Tailene. I think in the future Tailene is going to have a lot of uses for both PvP and PvE. So that is something to consider. Okay, so as for the Paragon upgrades, you want to upgrade your key damages of Paragon. So Lily May, Odie, those would both be great options. Damien, because he's a good support for PvP, and he's going to give you more inspiration stats. Basically, you just want to make as many Paragon upgrades as possible on heroes which are good for a lot of different team comps, because then you're going to get that inspiration bonus. Thorin as well is going to be good for Paragon upgrading. Apart from that, Coco will be good. She's a good support, and the Mauler faction tiles are not bad in Season 3. But if we take a look at your heroes and see which ones are close to getting to the Paragon upgrade, those are the ones we should be focusing right now. So we have, okay, Lenya, good. Lenya's the Paragon 1 is also strong for PvP, and she's a good hero. She's going to be good in this upcoming season because of while the buff tiles are going to be very strong. Vala, okay, so you're going to get Vala to Paragon, which is fine. Like, Vala is fine to upgrade to Paragon. I don't think she's overly powerful. Also, Light Bearers are still weak right now, and Shakir, you're also getting a Paragon 1, which is good. Merrily, you're going to get to Paragon 1. So basically, he's pretty close to unlocking Paragon 2. So he's going to need to begin even working and planning ahead for Paragon 2 upgrades. Okay, so Tassi. Tassi, I think, is worth getting to Paragon upgrades because she's going to be available in the season store. You'll be able to buy her or buy Lily May, whichever one you need the copies for the Paragon upgrade. But Tassi is a very strong PvP hero, and she is going to be strong in this upcoming season with the Wild buff tiles being really strong. As for the other heroes, Brutus, yeah, you can Paragon upgrade him. He is an overall strong hero. He's used on a lot of teams, and you can get that inspiration stats from upgrading him to Paragon. Rowan, I'm not a big fan of Rowan. I hardly use Rowan anymore in PvP, so but he's only 2 copies away, so you could consider that. And as for the other heroes, basically, he's done, honestly, I'm really impressed with this account. Like, for VIP 12 level, I didn't know if it was even possible to have basically all the heroes built, other than a few Celestial Hypogeans. Yeah. So, really great. Nero, 17. So, these heroes must be on your wish list right now. You can get them to Paragon. Antanja's really close. Okay, so she'll be a Paragon 1 pretty soon. So, she should remain on your wish list until she is maxed. And that is it. Yeah, do not take Rainier any further. Don't try to, like, take in a Supreme Plus for the rivalry stats. It's not worth it. 6 copies just for that is not worth it. And yeah, for the other heroes, decide this season. If there's a strong Celestial Hypogean, go for it. Otherwise, you can go for Talene. Talene is honestly looking really good. I've become kind of like much more of a fan of Talene than I was previously. Okay, let's take a look at your wish list and see if there's any optimizations we can make. He's gone for Bonnie. His Bonnie's at Supreme Plus. Don't need to take it beyond that. Okay, you have Hugin here. Hugin needs to be here, and Marilee because she's going to be your Paragon upgrade. And that makes sense. And Rowan, you're trying to get the Paragon 1 upgrade because he's only 2 copies away. I think it's fine because you've already kind of committed to this. And Sonya's, for example, 6 copies away. And the other heroes here it's really a matter of preference. If you want to upgrade in the Paragon, that's not too important. But Sonya, I would consider maybe a bit more important than Rowan. Also because inspiration, intimidation, the more, like, basically inspiration will give you more value onto your buffs, but at the same time, if the opponent has intimidation higher than your inspiration, then your buffs have even less value. So Sonya can have less value if you're under Paragon upgraded, but if you're over Paragon upgraded, she can have more value. Over here, you're going for Brutus and Shakir, which I agree with. I think that makes sense. And then here, you're going for Antanja. She's almost a Paragon upgrade. And you're just going more for OD for Damien, which makes sense. Yeah, you're going so that you can get them the Paragon 2 as soon as they're available. Which I do agree with. I think that Odie is really important to upgrade to Paragon tiers, and then Damien as well, because he's used in a lot of teams and can give your team the inspiration and intimidation. Yeah, Arden is also a pretty good hero to upgrade to Paragon, but you're going to take Paragon 1 onto Lenya, which makes sense. You know what? Honestly, I don't think you should go for Floribel here. Floribel is only 1 out of 6 copies. Just give up on her. Don't try to Paragon upgrade her. Anyway, she's not that strong of a hero. I would say keep your Lily May and Tassi. Get the extra copies of Lily May, and if you need, then you can use the season tokens for Tassi copies. Basically, your plan for this season 3 is to get Lily May and Tassi both to Paragon 2, which you should be able to do. You're going to unlock Paragon 2. You can get both of these to Paragon 2 with the season store of Tassi especially. Get your Thorin to Paragon 2. That would be important. And I think you should swap out Carolina for Ludovic now. Ludovic is going to be a more important hero. He fits into more teams as a support. Carolina is kind of being phased out of a lot of teams. And the inspiration from Ludovic will be great. Okay, here you're going, yeah, you're going for Nero Paragon 1. So let's see, do you have enough Paragon 1s? You're going to have Nero Lenya, that's true, 3 on Tandra, 4 Marilee, 5 Rowan, 6 Vala, 7 Shakir. Right now you need 8 more, right? Yeah, you're going to have enough. You're going to have enough to unlock Paragon 2. So yeah, this is good. Because the only thing I was thinking is if you don't have enough, then you could try to go for Salazar Paragon 1 as well to unlock it. But you're going to have enough. You only need 20 Paragon 1s. You don't want to get Paragon 1 on wasted units, which you're not going to use. It's better to just begin picking up copies for the Paragon 2 upgrade for some of your key heroes. And Sylvina is good. I think in this season with the Graveborn buff tiles, she will be good. So overall, I agree basically with your wish list. Things will change when Antandra upgrades a Paragon 1. Then I would honestly probably just put Coco in here and begin getting both Coco and Odie copies up to Paragon 2. And over here, as for Paragon Priority for Light Bearers, I don't think it really matters. You can go, yeah, you're going for Corin and Marilee, who are your damage dealers. Sinbad has some use in PvP. Hugin, honestly, would be a reasonable Paragon upgrade. So you could keep Hugin here and just try to Paragon upgrade him. I think that would be fine. Yeah, your wishes looks great, pretty much. The only change I made was Lily May rather than Floribel. I say do not go for Floribel. Give up on that. She is not a strong hero. She's just not that strong. Okay, epic recruitment is really important. Carolina, nope, needs to come off. We're gonna go for, okay, I think I still want to go for Lily May. Extra Lily May copies. You're really trying to get, I guess, Paragon quickly onto Shakir, Brutus, and Vala, so that's why they're on here. which they can remain on here for that. But other heroes which I would want a Paragon upgrade, Thorin extra copies, maybe honestly even Iron extra copies, because Iron is not bad in PvP. Also, he's already Paragon 1 on your account, so he's going to be easier to get to Paragon 2. You could also Paragon 2 Haven, but I think this is good. Keep the Lily May always. You can never have enough copies basically of Lily May, because you're going to want to then prepare for Paragon 3 upgrade. Eventually you're going to want to do that as well, and you're going to need 9 copies for that. Lily May will be all the way with you up until Paragon 4 basically. So until you have enough copies for Paragon 4 for her, she's not a waste to have onto this wish list. Shakir, Brutus, Valid, they're all pretty close to upgrading. I want to see again your Carolina, because you have your Carolina on your epic wishes and your regular wishes, but I thought she was only 2 out of 6, right? And if she's 2 out of 6, I would give up on her for right now. Yeah, there's still 4 more copies needed. I say switch to Ludovic. I know he is 0 out of 6, but he's going to be more impactful to Paragon upgrade. Like if Carolina were 3 or 4 out of 6, I would say, okay, just try to complete her. But honestly, she's not going to be that game-changing for your account by upgrading her. Okay, and then save your stellar crystals for right now. Decide, I'm going to basically, after 10 days of the twins being out, then I'll probably make a video talking about whether you should pull it or pass it. And also, you'll just see from all the videos I'm uploading how useful they are in Dream Realm, how useful they are in PvP. And you can decide, is it going to be important to recruit on your account? If it's not going to be, if it's going to be a skip on the twins, I would say you can begin going for Taylene. Because, yeah, I mean, or you could just wait for the other 2 to come out in this season. But Taylene is gonna, I feel like Taylene is actually gonna be a pretty important hero to have on most people's accounts now, because she is just has so much survivability in PvP. And even for Dream Realm, she has uses pre-endless. Okay, so let's take a look at your Dream Realm, which should be good because you have all of your heroes developed. But I guess you don't have high Paragon upgrades, so that is kind of the thing. However, you will have like you don't have the Paragon upgrades, but you have high enough exclusive equipment. Your Forester, for example, is built up with this exclusive equipment. The thing is, right now, Lone Gaze, the best team, is using Harak right now, but your Harak is not Supreme Plus, so Harak will not be that usable for your optimal team for Lone Gaze. So when you get that final copy, which is just in 4 days from right now, you're going to be a lot stronger for Dream Realm. Just having all of like Harak, Forester, all of these heroes built, that should be enough for you to secure basically the top. You should be in the top 10, but I guess you have a really competitive, you have a pretty competitive server. Everyone's basically running, I think, like the Harak team in the top ranks, because getting 88 billion without it is pretty difficult. Although it is possible. Let's see which team you're running. Yeah, you're running the Ludovic team, and you got 86 billion, which I think is around your maximum. Oh, no, you got 84 billion. Maybe you could run it a few times. You only did 1 run. Yeah, it's possible you could run it a few times and actually break into the top 10. Maybe you're going to do that yourself, but let's just do it here for you right now. I'll also take a look at the... Let's take a look at the charms and making sure they're optimal, but you can try to refine. Okay, there we go. Top 10. Good. Only on the 2nd attempt. But you can try to refine the Ludovic charms if you have any rating crests left. You have them refined. And arcane charms Mikola. Okay, they're not refined. The mystic charms Shakir, which is fine. Sorcery charms and refined. And refined charms and Smoky. Okay, you have the good charms. You're running the good team. You just might have to run it a few times to get good RNG. You are barely in top 10 right now, but it might change depending on if more people attack. Try to boost this score, but 86.4 billion I think is pretty high, given the level of investment of your heroes. Like for example, on my main account I get around 87, maybe 88 on a good day, so 86.4 is pretty good. Okay, let's take a look at Arena and see what you have running over here. You're in the rank 11, so I guess top 5 is out of reach for you because you're quite far away from top 5, but that's fine. Top 20 is still really solid for Arena. You're running Scarlita's stall team. Yeah, I think this is not the greatest. You should now be running Feasto, definitely. And I think you should be running Damien. Should be running Damien. And the final hero, this is kind of difficult. I think you should be running Bonnie. I think you should be running Bonnie. You can try like the Bonnie Satrana team that I was showcasing on my channel. It is pretty strong, so we can go for Satrana, we can go for Bonnie behind the main Festo, and we can go for like Lily May as a final hero. I want you to test out this team. So the idea is that Satrana is going to apply her Ignite Passions, and that's going to massively, like, rapidly spread the debuff of Aging Magic of Bonnie onto all the enemies, making them fully debuffed and taking that damage per second. And you have Lily May as well to interrupt the enemy. And then you have Damien. I think this can be a pretty good team. Yeah, it's a team that I would try. Basically, Scarlita Stroll is just not that strong anymore. And this team also has issues, like it would be better if you had Taylene rather than the Lily May. Then this is a really solid team. Lily May can be fine, but yeah, like Taylene just does really well as well. But you can try this team and see how it does on defense. Maybe it will do better. Because yeah, there's crazy synergy between Citrana and Bonnie. And Bonnie is strong on defense, just debuffing the enemy. Let's take a look at, oh, okay, so Supreme Arena, you're competing for top 20, where you're kind of on the borderline. That is a tough position to be in, and yeah, but based on the the upgrading of your account, this is probably the position you're going to be in. So competing for top 20 is going to be difficult for you. But it is possible, and the difference in rewards is not so great. Like, for example, only 50 season tokens per day. Twilight Essences I consider not to really matter, and this is only for the frame, right? And you're gonna get enough to get the 4-star frame, so you don't even really need more than that. But yeah, I think, yeah, ideally getting to the 50 extra season tokens per day is nice. However, don't basically get too stressed about it. Like, if you can remain in top 50, that's still great. But if you can get into top 20 sometimes, that is also really good. Now in the next season, what you're going to want to do is you should run, wait, we have, how many Hypogean Celestials you have built? You have 3 built here. And 1 built here. Okay, so you're going to run 1 Hypogean Celestial team, which should be Fresto, Scarlita, Harak. Or, yeah, maybe Fresto, Scarlita, Harak, or Fresto, Scarlita, Rainier type team. And then you're going to run probably 2 Wild, or 1 Wild or 1 Mauler team. In your Wilders, you'll probably want to run Iron, Damien, and Lily May or something. Or Haywin, Damien, Lily May. Or even Lenya, basically. Or Iron, Aridin, Damien. You could even put together 2 Wilder teams, because Wilders are going to be really strong in Season 3 for Chains of Eternity. So if you go for like Lily May, Haywin, and then maybe Lenya, once your Lenya's Paragon 1, and then you have Iron, Aridin, Damien. Those are 2-3 cores that you can, 3-man cores you can use to get the Wilder faction talents, and then you can fill out the team. Another option will be running 1 Maulers and 1 Wilders, because Maulers just have strong heroes, and even though the Mauler actual buff tile is not super strong in the upcoming season, Maulers are strong, and you're going to have your Shakira probably upgrade to Paragon 1 pretty soon, and Brutus as well. So you can go for Brutus, Shakira, Odie, or you can even go for Brutus, Coco, Odie type team. Or you can even go for Citrana and Bonnie. You can go for 3 Maulers, one of them being Citrana, and run Bonnie as well, because you're going to rapidly spread the debuffs onto the enemy with that team as well. So you have some good team options. Basically, because you have all the heroes built, you can build pretty much any team you want, but now try to take advantage of your Paragon upgrades. The other thing is that with the Inspiration Intimidation stats, your buffs will have greater value if you have higher Paragon tier. But your buffs will have less value if you have lower Paragon tier. So if you run, for example, a team comp that has no buffs on it, you're actually going to be better off if you're facing a high Paragon opponent. If you're running a team that has a lot of buffs on it, for example, like Diurnal is one example that comes to mind, or even Seth with all of his buffs that he stacks. If you had a Paragon a higher tier, you're going to snowball out of control. But if you had a lower tier, your buffs are even less effective than they should be, and that team is not good. So teams which don't rely on buffs are going to be good even at lower Paragon Ascension, but the buff reliant teams will want as high Ascension as possible, and the buffs are like Coco, Mikola, Shakir, for example. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be, for right now, you're running good defenses. You're running basically the teams which I recommended at the beginning of this week. And let's take a look at how it is doing for you. Okay, so you got a defense fail here, and then more defense fails. But you are getting some defense success as well. Yeah, I think maybe these are not the strongest teams. Even for me, I don't consider them necessarily to be the strongest teams. But it does look like you're basically... you're only losing to the top ranking players, like Sterling rank 2, and then Balthazar is going to be rank 10. and those are going to be the main people that you're going to be seedling rank 6. So you're losing to the top rankers, but like the lower rank people you are beating with your defense, which is pretty good. Like for example, Slafer you have beaten. And yeah. So I think that yeah, overall this is fine, and for right now, with what you have is basically bouncing back and forth between top 20 and top 50. If you're not able to like log in right at the calculation time and attack, then probably you'll just end up top 50 most of the time. Otherwise, if you can get in here and attack, you can probably snipe the top 20. But again, no, don't worry too much about it. Like, even top 50 is great rewards. Like, don't feel too pressured. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. And if you have any other advice, you can share it in the comment section. And if you want to talk to me more or just ask me any questions, you can join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video and all of my videos. And there's a link on my channel page. And I reply very frequently over there on Discord. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll hope to see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.